The night the blood moon rose, the wind howled like a grieving widow, and the manor on Hollow Ridge lit up for the first time in 30 years. No one in town spoke of it without a nervous glance over their shoulder. Children were warned to keep away. But for Ellie Marlowe, the manor wasn't just a ghost story, it was her inheritance. She stood at the foot of the long stone path, her breath hitching as her eyes rose to the decaying silhouette of Blood Moon Manor. Its towering spires pierced the dark sky, and broken windows stared down like hollow eyes. Her mother had never spoken of it, only left her a yellowed deed and a letter that read, "When the time comes, you'll understand." Her mother died last fall. Now, Ellie was here alone, confused, and desperate for answers. Inside, the manor was a relic of forgotten grandeur. Dust danced in beams of moonlight, and the air smelled of damp wood and memories. Portraits lined the halls, each one watching her with a silence that bordered on warning. Ellie moved carefully, her suitcase dragging behind her. The house creaked as if awakening from a deep slumber. The townspeople called it cursed. They whispered of screams heard during blood moons and lights flickering in rooms long abandoned. But Ellie wasn't scared. She was angry. Angry at her mother for never telling her the truth. Angry at herself for feeling so alone in the world. That first night, she dreamed of a woman crying in the grand ballroom, blood trickling from her eyes, a soft lullaby echoing beneath a chandelier. When she awoke, her hands were covered in dust and a rose petal was on her pillow, fresh and crimson. Over the next few days, Ellie explored the house. Hidden doors, torn diaries, cracked mirrors. Every inch seemed to pulse with memory. One diary, her great-grandmother Cecilia's, unraveled the truth. The manor had once been a sanctuary. During the early 1900s, it sheltered children orphaned by war and sickness. Cecilia had taken them in, fed them, loved them. But something happened in the winter of 1912. A fever swept through. The town, terrified, turned on Cecilia, blaming her for the deaths. They accused her of witchcraft, locked the manor's doors, and let her die inside with the children she couldn't save. Blood Moon Manor became a mausoleum of sorrow. As Ellie pieced together the truth, she began to feel the weight of the manor's past settle on her chest. She could feel Cecilia's grief in the walls, in the echoing footsteps, in the lullabies that played faintly at dusk. Then, the blood moon rose again. On that night, Ellie lit candles throughout the manor, dressed in white, and stood in the ballroom where so many souls had wept. The chandelier, long dormant, swayed above her. Shadows danced along the walls. She spoke aloud, telling the story of Cecilia, of the children, of the lies and the injustice. She apologized. She forgave. One by one, the candles flared. A soft warmth filled the room, and Ellie saw them, children with sunken eyes and fragile smiles, standing hand in hand behind the spirit of Cecilia, radiant and crying. But this time, the tears were of peace. The manor sighed, and for the first time in over a century, it felt alive. Months later, Blood Moon Manor became a home again. Ellie turned it into a retreat for foster youth, a place where broken hearts found healing. She painted the walls in colors of hope, restored the rooms with care, and every child who walked through its doors found something they didn't know they were missing, a sense of belonging. The town changed, too. What they had feared, they came to honor. Old wounds healed with truth, and a forgotten hero, Cecilia Marlowe, was finally remembered. Ellie often stood at the window during the blood moon, watching its crimson glow bathe the manor in light. She knew now why her mother had kept the truth hidden. It wasn't just a house. It was a legacy. One built on grief, but reclaimed with love. And in the stillness of night, sometimes, a soft lullaby would drift through the halls. But no one was afraid anymore.